So you want to see something cool? Check it out. This is a poi, or at least it was a poi. Now it is part of a baton, or a staff, rather. How exactly does this work? Well, Flowtoys has just released a new system that allows you to swap back and forth parts between different props and essentially invest in one set of lights that you can use with multiple different types of props. It is called their pop and flow system. And I have a set of the props to review and share with you today. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I'm coming at you with a review of a system that I know has been in the works for quite some time. That's right, the Pop and Flow Modular system. So buckle up, we're gonna dive in. But before we do, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecca, Flowfests, Flowtoys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these awesome companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friend of the channel, Becca Becklinen. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. So clearly, there's a lot of promise to this idea, but how does it actually work in practice? Well, that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. So I'm going to go through my usual review rubric. I'm going to give you features, ease of use, brightness, battery life, durability. I'm going to give you some personal thoughts, and of course, rattle through the price. And of course, interspersed with all of that, I will be showing off some footage showing you what these props actually look like. So let's dive in. Features. So this right here is the basic unit of the pop and flow system. This is what they refer to as a spoke. It's a 16 pixel, essentially like rod that has this little flare that goes from skinny to wider on it. They have a few different options for what the end caps can be, but by and large, this is the basic thing that you're looking at. And what it has up top here is this little kind of divot and flare. And this allows you to connect these spokes to a variety of different what they call hubs. The hubs are essentially parts that have receptacles in them for these little divots right here. So you can just pop the prop in and lock it, and you're good to go spinning with it. So in theory, what you do is you get however many spokes you want and the specific hubs that you want for whatever props you're going to spin, and you can just pop them in and out as need be. Now, all the hubs have a little button on the tip of them that allows you to turn them on and control them, as well as turn them back off, as well as a little micro USB port as well to recharge them. There's a variety of different end caps that Flowtoys has available to put on the ends of these spokes. This is the medium weight version right here. These are just the traditional flow caps. There's also a smaller version that has less weight to it. And there's also the hefty version, which is these kind of capsule cone assemblies right here. Depending upon how much weight you want to put on the end and what kind of feel you want your props to have. The spokes themselves are running the exact same software as the Capsule 2.0s as well as the Vision props. So every mode that they're capable of doing, these are capable of doing as well, including connecting to the Flowtoys app by way of their bridges and being able to program specific shows if you would like to, using the pre-existing modes that they have built into them. And that is something to emphasize right here. These are not technically programmable poi. That is, you cannot download custom images or messages into them. You have to make do with variations of the modes that are already built into them. But that said, what these actually excel at is producing really beautiful trails, regardless of what props you decide to put them in. And of course, one of the great promises of these is that since the system is modular, you can not only swap out for different props, but also you can break your props down to a smaller size. So rather than walking around with a big 34-inch staff, I can collapse it down to something that's going to fit inside of my backpack, which is super handy. There are honestly probably more features that I'm forgetting about right now. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so if you have additional questions about these, please leave me a comment and let me know. Ease of use. Being as how these are running the same software as the Capsule 2.0s as well as the Vision props, You know, turning it on and finding a mode that you want is a pretty easy process. You know, they respond to a button press, you find the specific mode you're looking for, and you're good to go, right? Now that said, if you want to get deeper into the programming process, including how exactly you're going to find alternate versions of these modes and adjust them and edit them, as well as adjusting brightness and things like that, you're going to want the documentation. If you can get access to a Flowtoys bridge in order to use the software to avoid having to figure out the combinations of button presses to get you through various modes and how to edit them, I highly recommend. Okay, so how about ease of use for swapping out parts of different props? Well, I will be honest with you. When I first got my sets of these pop and flow props from Flowtoys, the fit between the hubs and the spokes was so tight and so close, I was terrified to try to pull them apart. I kept thinking that there must be like some kind of locking mechanism, but no, you just yank hard enough and they come right out. Once you're over that initial hump and you're down to just push the two parts together until you feel that click, you're good to go. And it does have to be said that that click feels really, really satisfying when you get it. Brightness. So like all Flowtoys props of this generation, they're pretty bright. They get bright enough that it helps to have some additional illumination around you because they will definitely knock out your night vision. Battery life. Okay, so usually the trade-off when it comes to brightness comes with the length of the battery life. And longtime viewers of this channel will know that I have two tests that I give every single LED prop that I come across in order to test both how well it takes the most punishing things that you can do to the battery, as well as what an average use case is more like. So the first use case, where I basically just punish the battery as much as I can, I turn the LEDs to the color white and put them up to full brightness and wait and see how long it takes for them to die out entirely. These props got to an hour and a half. And on the other end of the spectrum, very literally, the second test that I do is to set the LED Poi to a rainbow mode. That way they're going through all the different colors, and I put them onto medium brightness. You want to guess what the big difference here is? You get all the way to 9 hours of battery life. So keep that in mind as you're using these. There are absolutely ways to get a much, much, much better battery performance out of them if you play your cards right. Durability. So a lot of the hub connectors are 3D printed, which always makes me just a little bit nervous. I talked to Sean from Flowtoys about this, and what he told me was that the specific process that they are using to create their hubs is such that you get more life out of them than you normally would. But by and large, Flowtoys props are always super durable. I don't think I've ever seen them let something out into the world that isn't able to take the kind of punishment that I can dole out, so I expect no less from these. Feel. Do I enjoy using these? Are they fun to spin with? And have I found myself spinning with them more often than I thought? Yeah, actually, I totally have. In particular, when I opted for the flow cap with the FPC tether hubs, there was something that happened with this that felt kind of magical. There's something about this combination of weight distribution that I just found felt really pleasing for me, and you've probably spotted me making tons of videos with them in the past month, specifically because I've just been enjoying using them and I wanted to find more videos to use them in. It's also really awesome to have staffs that really can collapse down and that you don't sacrifice the feel of once you put them back together. That's really, really rare, and I'm really impressed that they solved that problem. Some of you out there might be wondering about these capsule and cone poi and how closely they feel to traditional poi. And my answer to this one is kind of mixed. These have been engineered with enough weight on the end to get them really, really close to feeling like a traditional set of poi. I definitely find that when doing things like hybrids and a lot of tech moves like that, that they feel pretty close to traditional poi. Once the length of the head, and especially if it is a rod-shaped form factor, gets past a certain length, there's a little bit of wiggling that happens as you enter into a stall that is just unavoidable. So I personally don't find these a great fit for a lot of my stall-based work, but you might find they work differently for you. That said, I'm also at the point where I'm kind of enjoying just playing around with pendulums when it comes to longer form factor poi like this, so that's not that big a deal to me. I've just been going with the lighter weight ones overall when I spin, and that's been working out for me just fine. So one of the ways that these really excel are when you turn them into staves, or as they're referred to on the site, batons. Now, any of us who have ever played with modular or collapsible staffs know that what winds up happening is the pieces kind of rattle around a little bit in the socket, and it feels a little weird and uncomfortable. So you have to make that choice between portability versus a solid feel for the product. And you know what? They totally nailed it with the pop and flow system. When you put all these pieces together, it feels like one solid unit. It's glorious. I don't feel the seams at all when I'm spinning these. The one and only note that I will put in here is just that the baton slash staff hub that I got is hollow plastic, and because of that, it's a little flexible. And I can definitely feel that as I'm spinning them. I can feel the two ends wobbling a little bit due to the flexibility, not due to the connection, but due to the flexibility of the center here. Now, Flowtoys does have options for staffs that have a carbon fiber core to them, and that will eliminate that wiggling problem. So if you're interested in the batons, I highly recommend getting the carbon fiber core into the middle of them. It will help make the staff feel more solid to you. Price. All right, so I actually wound up with so many options here that I'm going to have to refer to my notes to go through all of them and what the individual prices of them are, so I hope you'll bear with me here. So first and foremost, Pop and Flow Poi with the Smithy rope hubs and tethers go for $380 over on the Flowtoys website. The Pop and Flow Poi with the FPC tethers are $390 a pair. If you want to add flow mass and the capsule shells, the pod shells with these little cone sleeves and everything, that'll run you $420 a pair. And if you want a set of the Pop and Flow batons, which are really double staves, but I guess they're using the word batons now. Yeah, so a set of these is going to run you $780. And if you want to acquire all of the things that I have here a la carte, that is 4 spokes, 2 Smithy rope hubs, 2 FPC hubs, and 2 baton hubs, it'll run you a total of $910. So there you go. You can find all these over at the Flowtoys website at flowtoys.com, and do remember that I have a promo code with Flowtoys. If you use the code DrexFactor32024 at checkout, it'll get you 10% off whichever props you happen to be purchasing, and it helps out the channel, so everybody wins. And now, how about some more footage of those Pop and Flow props in action? So do you have any of the pop and flow props? What has your experience been? Please leave me a comment and let me know. Also, this last bit doesn't really fit anywhere else in the review, but I just thought I'd put it out there. Flowtoys has one of the best warranty systems that I have found in the flow arts world. So do bear in mind that if anything goes wrong with your props, Flowtoys will go above and beyond to make it right and make sure that you're still out there flowing. So keep that in mind when you think about purchasing these two. Did you get anything out of this review? If so, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe so other people can find it, and of course, to help my channel grow. This video and all the videos on this channel would not be possible without my amazing Patreon supporters. In particular, I would love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. If you like the videos that I create, regardless of whether they are flow sessions, reviews, video essays, etc., and you'd like to see more of them, there's an easy way that you can make that happen, and that is to go sign up over on Patreon at patreon.com/DrexFactor Poi to support my creating them. A lot of times I have to do stuff to make it so I can pay rent and bring money in the door, and that involves doing things like private lessons or my live stream lessons, things that take me away from being able to invest more time in creating my videos. So if you want to see higher production levels of my videos, if you like to see more of them, then go sign up on Patreon and let me know that that is a thing that is important to you and that you'd like to see me invest more time in. Please and thank you. If you'd like to see more of my reviews on a variety of different LED props, I will include a link to a playlist of them down in the description as well as up on screen if you are watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow yourselves today, regardless of what props you're using, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.